Well, we've been watching step by step the growing military presence on the southern border of the United States with Mexico. U-2 spy planes are flying border security missions, Air Force confirms. Border surveillance flights show the wide array of applications of the U-2 and their retirement still looms on the horizon. This is just the latest step in the ongoing escalation in intelligence and military activity on the southern border. This channel has been out front and one of the first in getting information to everybody about what exactly is happening regarding our military on the border, such as RC-135 Rivet Joint surveillance jets flew unprecedented mission off Mexico. As we covered when it happened on this channel, the RC-135 Rivet Joint flew down the coast of the Baja Peninsula, then up into the Gulf of California, staying in international airspace, and flew intelligence gathering missions up and down the Gulf of California in the hottest zone for drug cartel activity. And then following that, we had this story. CIA MQ-9 Reapers are covertly flying over Mexican drug cartels, reports. CIA drone flights over Mexico reportedly began under Biden, but have greatly expanded under the Trump administration amid talks of direct action against the cartels. Step by step, we see an increase in activity. And I'm going to go down very quickly into this story about the Reapers, just to show you the Mexican government's response. It's part of this little campaign, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum said today in response to questions about the reported CIA drone flights, but did not elaborate. Meaning they're fully aware of them. This is not something they are just finding out about. You can see the step-by-step progression, including this now. U.S. Special Forces landing in Mexico to train Marine infantry. A Mexican Senate commission has approved the entry of members of the U.S. Army's 9th Special Forces Group into the country starting last week. The Americans will come fully armed as part of a mission to train Mexican Navy's Infanteria de Marina, Marine infantry, on conventional and non-conventional types of combat. So American advisors and American trainers. And as we know, American advisors in the hunt for Pablo Escobar, in all of Vietnam, pretty much anywhere you can find American advisors, they don't just sit on the sidelines. They take part in every one of these operations. We lead from the front. The next story. The Pentagon deploys Stryker brigade aviation battalion to southern border. The Pentagon is just deploying a Stryker brigade combat team and general support aviation battalion to the southwest border, accelerating efforts to fulfill Donald Trump's directive to bolster military support in securing the U.S.-Mexican border. What we know is that 2nd Stryker Brigade, 4th Infantry Division, out of Colorado. And they have not deployed fully yet, but they are about to be deployed to the border, which will, one of the articles I read will bring up the military to like 9,600 currently deployed. That will be currently deployed on the border. And I think it's worthwhile that we remind ourselves who we are fighting. And I use that word very purposefully. Now, this is a story out of NBC, January 24th, 2009. Again, I think it's very relevant that we remember exactly the type of people we're going up against. There will be kinetic action involving United States personnel on Mexican soil. There's also a chance there will be kinetic action on American soil. I've been predicting that from the get-go, but here's that story from 2009. This is who we're up against. Mexico. Mad admits dissolving 300 bodies. A man accused of helping a Mexican drug kingpin dispose of hundreds of victims by dissolving their bodies in acid was arrested in the border city of Tijuana, authorities said Friday. And this goes into a ranch where the locals called him Pozole Maker, after a local stew, is accused by Mexico's military of disposing of 300 bodies. A suspected former lieutenant of the Tijuana-based Ardelo Felix drug cartel. This is relevant because we've seen story after story after story like this. We've seen many stories of the cartels beheading people, pieces of people, bodies hanging off bridges. These people are as bad as any of the people we faced in the global war on terror, probably worse. This is out of Saturday's Zero Hedge. Cremation ovens, teeth and torture, Grisly extermination camp found in Mexico. On a quest to find loved ones who've gone missing in Mexico as long, you plagued a gang-driven disappearances. A group of volunteers has discovered a ghastly, bone-strewn extermination camp in the rural village of Guadalajara, complete with cremation ovens. Their shock was compounded by the knowledge that police first learned about this site months ago and did nothing to investigate it. So that tells you right there, we can't trust the local authorities. Sounds a lot like Afghanistan, doesn't it? The first unknown quantity of human remains yet to be identified, but the site near the village of La Estalinzuela, I know I butchered it, I really apologize, holds at least 700 personal items, including some appear to be women and children. 700 personal items. Hundreds of people were probably disposed of at this camp. I'm going to show you the aerial picture of it. This is behind the fence of the abandoned ranch near La Estanzuela. Again, I apologize for butchering it. I don't speak Spanish as I should, and that is my fault. I should speak Spanish. But we can see here, this altar dedicated to Santa Muerte was found by authorities who raided a house in Ecuador. Several figurines of the gang revered bony lady were found at the extermination camp. Citizen volunteers excavate one of 3 underground crematories. This is what we face on the southern border. We're not fighting against just criminals. There is a concerted, organized evil that we'll be fighting. Organized evil. This also appeared to be a training ground. Some of the reports coming out that this was a training center for cartels to teach this kind of thing to their people. How to torture, how to dismember and dispose. We're dealing with an evil that it's going to take more than just the military to solve. But what we do have is, in order, Stryker Brigade, Special Forces, MQ-9 Reapers, RC-135s, and now U-2s flying over the southern border. If you think we're not going to do something, if there's not going to be kinetic action, that the United States military is not going to strike, you're not paying attention. You're not paying attention. We are so close to what I'm going to deem the war on the southern border. It's insane. We've already had reports of Mexican drug cartels taking pot shots at our military forces on the border. just a couple weeks ago, and it was covered on this channel. We had a Texas rancher killed on the Mexican side of the border. This is my video about it. Texas rancher killed by a cartel IED. A Texas rancher was killed by a cartel IED just across the border in Mexico as he was working his ranch. IEDs, sniper shots, shots at U.S. personnel, U.S. military intelligence assets literally flying everywhere they can. U.S. military special forces in country. United States Stryker brigades on the border with Marines on the border. If you don't think we're about to do something with Mexico, you are not paying attention. Things are about to get serious. Things are about to get real. Look to what's happening to the Houthis right now. As of right now, we've been bombing the Houthis for a couple hours. We're going to be doing the same thing with Mexico, is my prediction. They're not going to be pleased. This is going to be serious. The next war with Mexico. We'll call it the war on the southern border because it's going to involve mostly cartels, but there will be Mexican military action as well. We'll see if our two militaries clash. We're about to enter a very dangerous time on the border. Very, very dangerous time. And it's clear that our president, he ain't screwing around. He's brought every asset to bear that he feels is necessary for the security of this country. And I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end. But that's what I got this morning, and I appreciate you coming in and listening. We'll be keeping close attention to what's going on down in the southern border, keeping our eyes out. You too, this is a new one. This is new. They did fly in 2021 under the Biden administration, but now this is working with other intelligence units, other men on the ground. It's about to get real. If you liked it, hit like, share it with people, and hit the subscribe. And I thank you. See you next time.